Welcome to the Retro Graveyard. This time we have the Sony TV-511UK, released in Japan in 1977 and in Europe, the UK and Mexico in 1979. It has a very unusual feature. Let's have a closer look. So on the front here we have the 5-inch screen which can be rotated 90 degrees like this. I'll go into the inspiration for this later on. As you can see here, there are increments of 10 degrees, so you can have the screen at any of these angles. Next there is a pull on and push for off knob that doubles as the volume control, followed by the UHF tuning dial. Other versions have an extra tuning dial with VHF at the top and UHF at the bottom in this space. I'll show you some pictures later in the video. The earpiece is supplied here on the left hand side in the handy storage compartment. Obviously this will be mono. You can plug in regular headphones but the sound will only come through one ear. Also on this side we have vertical hold, brightness and contrast controls. Just a vent on the right hand side and an aerial on top with a vent for the speaker. On the back we have the external aerial socket and the option of a 12 volt DC socket for plugging into your vehicle, or 240 volt AC socket for at home, with relevant voltages being on other versions. There is also a switch to change between the built-in aerial and external aerial socket. Lastly, there is the battery compartment. It takes 9 D-sized batteries that are inserted into these handy plastic cylinders. As you probably know, analog TV signals were finally turned off in the UK back in 2012, so you won't be able to pick up BBC Two in 1979 for example.
Well, here on 2 the 4077 has some adjusting to do in MASH.
Anyway, there is always the option to use the RF input on the back. A VCR can be plugged in here and can be tuned in no problem. There are even digital TV receivers available that can be plugged into the SCART socket on your VCR. Of course, this device will no longer be portable if you do that. The TV-511 was designed by Harmer Esslinger, who was also involved with the Sony Trinitron range, the Walkman, and went on to work for Apple, Microsoft and many others. It came in grey, plus orange and green in Japan. Sony had already been running ads for years before promoting small portable TVs like this one, advertising a tummy television, and this Pee-wee TV one with a TV on a lap. They seem to decide to build further on that with the TV we are looking at today. The TV-511 was known as Mr. Nello in Japan with the model number TV-501. Apparently the name Mr. Nello comes from a word in Japanese meaning to be able to lie down while watching TV. In this Japanese literature for Mr. Nello, we have the following that describes how this TV with its rotating screen can be used and where the inspiration to make the device came from. Mr. Nello was released in response to the request of lie-down fans all over the country, whose motto is to spend their days off lying down. This unique TV features a screen that rotates all around. When you turn the ring surrounding the CRT, the screen rotates little by little. It can rotate up to 90 degrees, so you can move the position of both sides to suit your posture while watching TV. You can enjoy it easily without having to take any awkward posture, whether you're on one elbow or lying down in any pose you like, for those who want to watch TV while lying down. And here we have an ad for the TV-511UW for Mexico that mentions a rotating screen and that is very light and compact with a large flexible handle. So let's have a look at some specs. It has a 5-inch black and white CRT, its width is 28.4 cm, height is 17.3 and depth is 28.7 cm. And it weighs 3.3 kilograms. The Japanese literature says the weight is comparable to that of a mosquito, making it gentle on the hands. And if you want to know more about what's inside, pause on this exploded image from the service manual. So that's the Sony TV-511UK. A great looking TV with an innovative and practical design that still looks good now. but must have looked fantastic in the late 70s and the 80s compared to other TVs of the time. Well, that's all for today. I'm off to see what else I can dig up from the retro graveyard. Thanks for your attendance.
Well, here on 2, the 4077th has some adjusting to do in MASH. Shanny,